Are you ready? In this session, I'm going to introduce you to this amazing program called Excel. What we're going to talk about in this session is basically a couple of things here. First, we'll talk about spreadsheets in general and take a brief look at the structure of an Excel user interface. Then we'll start entering some text and numbers into a spreadsheet. We'll create some formulas and then format those that text and we'll format the text and numbers, make them look real nice. And then we'll create some charts so we can present our information in the best and most effective way possible. And finally, we'll do some minor touch-ups at the end just to make it look even better. Now, the two most important things we'll be discussing today are formulas and charts, so be sure to watch those videos. First thing we'll talk about are spreadsheets. And basically, you might be wondering, what exactly is a spreadsheet? Well, basically, in the old days, it looks like this, okay? Just a giant piece of paper with some writing on it. People had to get together and write on these things, and you can see it's real hard to read what they were writing. Everything was handwritten. Any calculations were done either in someone's head or on another piece of paper. And it was good, it was effective, but for that time, but nowadays we couldn't do that. Now we have, fortunately, electronic spreadsheets. And basically a simple spreadsheet would look like this. We have some numbers, some columns on the right, and some text on the left. And basically we have formulas in the lower right corner. These will calculate, for example, the sum of all the estimated expenses and all the actual expenses. Now, what's great is we can do what-if analysis. We can say, for example, we have $81 being spent on supplies. And if we spend $81 on supplies, we end up with a cash balance at the end of the month of $21.60. Well, what if we were to change that $81, increase it by $100? To $181. You notice right away the change down at the bottom there, our cash balance has decreased by $100. That's the beauty of Excel. It has these formulas which automatically give us the results if anything changes above it. It recalculates automatically. Okay, let's take a tour of Excel. Now the Excel user interface looks like this. A pretty simple interface. The Excel interface looks like this. Let's actually look at the real interface. We'll go over here and open up Excel. And we'll open up Excel. I don't have an icon on my desktop. No, I don't have one on my taskbar either. So I can just click in the search box here in Windows and just type EX. And I get this. This shows a couple of templates and some files I've been working on recently. But for educational purposes, I'm going to just click on blank workbook. And here's the Excel user interface. Okay, basically it comes up like this. And there are a couple of similarities with our other, believe it or not, our other Office applications. Okay. We have things like the quick access toolbar in the upper left corner. We have the title bar at the top, and we have the application level buttons in the upper right for controlling things like minimize, maximize, and quit. Let's take a look. Okay, here's our quick access toolbar in the upper left. We only have one button there, which is the save button, which is active. We have an undo button, which is not active because we didn't do anything yet. As soon as we will, it will turn on. Here's our title of our spreadsheet and the title of our application. Little search box here. Then we have our name of our account. And then we have the buttons here for minimize, maximize, and close. Below that, we have a row of tabs. And for each of those tabs, we have a different ribbon, okay, different set of buttons. The first few tabs are very similar to the ones in Word. And in fact, the Home tab, the first few buttons here are very similar to Word as well. Later on, over on the right, it gets a little strange here, but that's okay. We'll go over that. Now, above the grid, we have a couple of different things here. We have the name box and the formula bar. These are very important things here. The name box is right up here. This gives the name of the particular cell. Whatever cell we click on, it shows the name right here, which is in this particular set. In this case, it's D5. And this big box over here is the formula bar, very important bar. It shows what formula is in a particular cell. Right now, there's no formulas in that cell, so we see a blank there. Our grid consists of three things: columns, rows, and cells. Columns are vertical, rows are horizontal, and the cells are the individual squares, the individual rectangles on the screen. Okay, here we go. Our columns are over here. Each column is identified by a letter. If we click on the letter, it shows the whole column there. Columns, just like in buildings, they're vertical. Rows, however, are horizontal. Okay, rows, and each row has a number. And each cell has a row and a column, and we address it by the column letter and the row number. For example, this is C4, C4 right there, okay? This over here is F8, F8, okay? The column and then the row number. Now, below the grid, we have a couple of other things. We have sheet tabs, we have a new sheet button, we've got a horizontal scroll bar, and we have a status bar. Let's take a look at those. Sheet tab is over here. Now, Excel files are actually called workbooks. And like any book, they can have a number of different pages. And we call these pages worksheets. Okay, and we have one sheet so far. If we want to add some more sheets, we can just click this button here, the new sheet button, which will create more sheets. And I think you can have up to like 256 sheets in a spreadsheet, in a workbook. So you can get really a lot of information there. Over here on the right, we have our scroll bar. And we don't have any information, so the scroll bar doesn't do too much for us. On the right side here, we have our vertical scroll bar to scroll up and down. And then below that, we have our status bar, which gives us information about what Excel is doing. And over here on the right side of our status bar, we have some view buttons, just like we had in Word. And then over here is our zoom bars. Okay, we can zoom in or out, just like we had in Word. Now, it's important to talk about the structure of Excel files. A spreadsheet is basically a document, any document with rows and columns, which can be used for calculations. The Excel files are basically, again, called workbooks. And like any book, it can have one or more sheets, in this case, worksheets. Each worksheet is actually an Excel spreadsheet. And again, the worksheet is, or it's like a worksheet, just like a spreadsheet, it consists of vertical columns and horizontal rows. Okay, next we'll actually start entering some text and numbers into our spreadsheets and start doing some work here.